Welcome back to Lost Legacies.
A Hidden City Book Company production.
I'm Sam,
I'm Matt.
and we are your hosts. Everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the pod. It's been a week. It's been a week, both in like the time sense and just in the regular sense, But we're super excited to jump into Andor. But before we get into that, Matt, anything interesting happening? What'd you do? What you watching? What are you watching?
This weekend I watched Havoc, starring Tom Hardy,
Ooh, nice.
and directed by Gareth Evans. Or
Yes.
we've had this discussion on the pod before.
Yeah,
Hang on.
I believe it is Gareth Evans because Gareth Edwards is the Godzilla guy.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Mr. Evans. Directed by Gareth Evans.
Yes.
Starring Tom Hardy. And not bad, dude. I give it a solid 4.
Ooh.
It's directed by Gareth Evans, most popularly or most famously known for The Raid and The Raid 2 Redemption.
Mhm.
I don't know what I was expecting. Watching the trailer, it definitely looked like it was going to be a huge action-packed movie. Um, it really wasn't. It's much more in line with like just a gritty crime drama,
Mhm.
uh, cops, gangsters, all that stuff. Kind of like the Raid 2, like there's a lot of action through that movie, but when you see like, oh man, the whole 2.5 hour span, it's really kind of stretched out,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? That's kind of how I felt Havoc was, but Havoc is definitely under 2 hours, so it kind of flowed better.
Mhm.
That being said, though, when the action pops off, it pops off, man. Like, and it takes a while. It's probably like half a movie. Like, they really build to it. But when it hits, I'm like, there he is. That's my boy, Gareth Evans, whose name I
Yeah.
will never forget. I was like, oh man, dude. And so like Tom Hardy is not Ico, who's this
Sure.
short, fast little guy. Tom Hardy's a beast, man. You see him drop kicking guys or just tackling them into walls. I'm like,
Mhm.
there we go. There
I
we go.
love a good drop kick. I
Very
love a good
much
drop kick.
who's the actor who was he was in the Eternals, the big guy?
Oh, oh, dang it. I'm losing his name here.
Luckily, I'm
Find
already
out.
on Letterbox, so let's see if I can pronounce this. Oh,
It's
Don Lee.
well that was the name that he was given or that he chose for the Eternals press, but his true name is Ma Dong Suk.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Oh, he's
dude.
a Pisces.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I knew I liked him. Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, when
kindred spirits, huh?
the other movies, I'm looking for it right now, whatever like those cop movies he was in.
Oh yeah, like the
Um
roundup.
yeah, it's just like, dude, this guy, it's so cool to see a bigger guy like actually get to throw down, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Um in like a serious way, I
Hmm.
know they had Scott Adkins in the fat suit in John Wick 4. Uh,
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty epic though. Like it was John Wick's. Oh, speaking of which, they just dropped a trailer for Wick is Pain, which is the behind the scenes of John Wick.
Oh, okay.
Dude, it looks wild. So anyway, uh, yeah, so there's that scene in John Wick, but then like it's usually played for laughs or whatever.
Hmm.
So it's cool to actually see someone get to throw down like that.
Yeah.
And Tom Hardy now, I don't know, he's getting bigger the older he gets. I don't know how much of that is muscle and what isn't. I mean, he's a
Hmm.
strong dude though, so
Yeah. Yeah.
that kind of gives me hope. I'm on the other side of that. So we'll
In
say,
in what sense? What are we talking about?
well, let's say Tom Hardy, the older he gets, the bigger he gets. We'll say he's like what, 80% muscle?
Okay.
I'm the opposite. I'm
Okay.
I'm, I'm 20% muscle.
All right. All right.
Yeah, so
When you say 20% muscle, that's not bad,
yeah, I'm right. That's
I
what I
guess.
think.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, he's awesome as always. It's very interesting because they filmed the movie in Wales and it
Mm.
does not take place there. I don't know where it takes place. Chicago, New York, Gotham City, maybe. But almost like every single exterior is filmed like on a green screen.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because they're in Wales, and I'm like so there's a really big chase scene at the beginning of the movie, and it's just so much CG. And I was really taken out of it, and I was really nervous. I'm like, oh man, is this the movie we're getting into? Like,
Mm.
you can just tell car physics, you know? It's just like, oh, okay, that popped the curb a little too easily and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Also, they did film this during COVID,
Mm.
and they had to do reshoots during COVID, so it kept getting pushed back. So this movie is already a couple years old,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so all of that kind of you can tell when you watch it.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, man, I love it. The action scenes, uh, s- it's not a martial arts film the way the Raid movies are,
Mhm.
but it's just straight up balls to the wall, shooting blood, so much blood, like more than the Raid. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, I guess because they're using primarily guns in this one.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot of gunplay in the raid, like the first one.
yeah, like it's all
Like
in the beginning, and then they run out
yeah,
of ammo, so they have to use machetes.
yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah,
which is bloody, but
yeah.
yeah. So,
Okay.
all in all, solid 4 stars. I could have done more, could have given me more of a cool villain, but like, basic story. He plays a guy named Walker, who's a
Mm-hmm.
cop
Mm.
with a grudge.
Mm.
But I mean, it works for the story. I'm okay with
Yeah,
that. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I don't want to give too much spoilers, but yeah, it works. I was happy with it. But even just the action alone. So I will point out though that his partner Ellie is played. I hope I say this right. Jessie May Lee,
Okay.
who was all I know. She was the lead actress in Shadow and Bone, which was
Mm.
a show I surprisingly really liked. It was a Netflix,
Oh,
based
that's
off
right. That's right.
novels.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Um, Canceled after 2 seasons.
Shameful.
Sucks. Based off of like a YA novel, which so I had no interest in watching it until I saw like the trailers, and it
Mm-hmm.
kind of had a steampunk vibe,
Mm-hmm.
certain aspects, and I just liked the style, and then like I fell in love with that show and canceled.
Yeah, yeah.
She was in Last Night in Soho.
Oh, really?
Let's see. I never saw it. I know you did.
Oh,
She
yeah.
plays Lara.
Laura. Hmm.
Lara.
I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and watch it. Yeah.
The another shout out I want to give is the character Mia, played by Quaylin Sepulveda.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, she's got like no credits here.
Oh, wow.
Amazing, amazing. She kind of vanishes at a certain point in the movie, or like she's there, but like the first half is like a lot of her story, and I really dug it, and she really made like a cool co-lead in a way. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, they kind of lose her thread through it all.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I was really impressed. I'm like, man, I don't know who this is. Like, yeah, she's in a couple shows that I've never heard of. And
Mm.
then Havoc looks like her first feature, maybe.
Oh, wow.
All in all, though, I loved it. If you want a solid action movie with lots of violence and blood, check
Mm-hmm.
out Havoc. Spoiler alert: his name is Walker, not Havoc.
Okay.
Come
All
on,
right.
come
Just
on,
name him
Garrett.
John Havoc.
John Havoc. There you go.
Oh, Jim.
Jim Havoc. Yeah.
Jim Havoc.
So,
You know, I just imagine I was gonna do like the Statham voice,
yeah.
but because I'm trying to think of like what does a Tom Hardy voice sound like? So,
Well, uh, I I I do. Speaking of Statham, I do want to bring something up real quick.
uh-oh.
You're the one who usually talks about Dimension 20 and tabletop role playing
Sure.
shows.
Yeah, yeah.
I did watch the Smosh and the Furious.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
So
yeah,
like Smosh is an online like pretty much like a comedy kind of sketch channel.
yeah. Hmm.
They have multiple channels and stuff, and they played this game called Dread. Now, I've seen Dread be played forever, and
Hmm.
essentially, the one game mechanic of Dread is Jenga.
Mm.
Don't let the Jenga tower fall. So whereas D&D, you roll dice, like, okay, I want to climb this cliff. Okay, roll dice, and then you see your stats. You see, okay, so it's mixing your stats and like your experiences in the game, your role playing, all with probability. That's where the dice comes in.
Hmm.
Jenga, it's like, okay, or Dread, which uses a Jenga tower. It's like, I want to climb the cliff. Okay, I'll say this is a medium difficulty climb. So pull 5 blocks out.
Oh,
Like, oh, okay.
okay.
So and it's like so the rule basically the one rule is if your tower falls, you die. Like
Just that's it.
that's pretty much it. And like it's not to see if it's a success or not, it's just to see if you die. You
Mm.
know? So
Okay.
I don't have enough experience with it. I want to see like other people play it like cuz what if it is something simple?
Yeah.
Like, do you pull like some kind of Final Destination type thing? Like, what if you die on
Mhm.
your first block? Like, how does that work exactly?
Yeah.
But typically,
That's a crazy first block that you're pulling then.
I know, right? But I got the shakes, but I drank too much Big Red. But I've only seen it used in horror games. So
Mm.
I've seen
Okay.
like Aliens, Supernatural. Smosh has done several Dread games, and like Dread was one of the big ones that they would play on Geek and Sundry back when it was brand new, you
Hmm.
know. So I was always like, okay, that's cool, but like horror isn't really my thing, so I won't really sit down and watch one of those shows.
Hmm.
Um, but then this episode came out, Smosh and the Furious, which is essentially a Fast and Furious kind of Hollywood blockbuster adventure, but it's using the Dread system.
Hmm.
And the way they use the Dread Tower to race, like, okay, you're gonna do this, pull block, and it's just like it brought that same intensity of telling like the horror stories, but to
Hmm.
this action adventure, and I was just floored the whole time. I'm like, oh man, oh man, oh geez. So, and I thought it was because you said Jason Statham, and there is a character who really sounds like an exaggerated version of Statham in it. I'm like, dude,
Okay.
this is so rad. Um, but yeah, that's I don't know, man. That's something like I kind of I want to try this game,
Let's try it.
especially from like a game master perspective. It's like, wow, it's like oh improv. There's no rules
Yeah.
except don't let your tower fall. You know.
Yeah.
So and the guy I don't know his name. I didn't look it up, but the guy who is the game master for this one, and he's done Dread for all the Smosh episodes.
Hmm.
Fantastic storyteller. I'm like,
Mm.
what? Like, what is going on? So just mind blown. So that's what I was doing this weekend. I was watching Smosh and the Furious and Havoc.
Nice. Very nice.
What did you do?
I watched Companion
Oh yeah.
and Sinners.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Start with
let's get in.
Companion because you
Yeah.
you you watched that one first, right?
Yeah. 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 So Companion, for those of you who don't know, movie came out a couple months ago. Kind of top of the actually no, it was in January. Not too many big stars. Sophie Thatcher and
Jack Quaid.
Jack Quaid, that's his name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They play a couple. They're with hanging out with friends in a not not cabin in the woods. It's like it's like a fancy house. It's like a private home
Mm-hmm.
in the woods, and stuff starts going down. Um, yeah, I feel like to talk about any more than that is going to give away too much.
That's interesting.
Especially because like I remember watching like the first trailer, and the first trailer really didn't like give away a whole bunch. It just really set a mood. And the
Hmm.
second trailer I felt like was kind of getting into more like twisting and turning
Mm-hmm.
sort of things, and I don't know if they gave away the twist.
Really?
Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
Huh. So as of watching it, did you? But you knew the twist going into it, right?
I I knew the twist because it got spoiled for
It's
me.
because it's been out for a while, and like
Yeah.
that's the first time I heard of it. It was the twist. I'm like, oh, okay,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So watching it, did you? Would you have preferred not to have known?
It's hard to say
Hmm.
because like why so Kat didn't know.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, like Kat didn't know the twist. So when it happened, like she was I I don't know if it was like a shock of like, oh my, oh wow. But
yeah,
it was more just like a whoa, cool.
that's cool.
Like kind of
Okay.
like that. Whereas me, like I'm looking at it and seeing all the things, seeing all the hints, and it is kind of like even if I didn't know the twist, it's a little heavy-handed. Like
Hmm.
some of the like the way some of this dialogue is written, and that's kind of where my gripe is. It's not with the acting per se,
Hmm.
it's with the script. The script I think is kind of weak and sets an odd pace for the movie.
Hmm.
Uh and yeah, because I feel like with like a stronger script, some of the stuff could have been which is like it could have been something that reached a like camp sort of feeling, you
Yeah.
know? I felt like that's kind of the territory that they were steering into, but never went in that direction. Like they
Hmm.
very much tried to play it. No, we're gonna try and play this straight,
Straight.
but also a little bit for laughs. Like that's kind of thing too. I saw a lot of people say that this is like a horror comedy. And it's like, well, it's not. But
Hmm.
there's a lot of comedic elements in it that I feel like definitely clashed with the rest of it. You
That's
know?
kind of my take with Jack Quaid. Like I want him to do something non-comedic for once, you
Hmm.
know? I don't know. I don't really know. I never saw the he was in Scream
Yeah,
two
yeah,
Screams ago, right?
yeah.
Um, so I really don't know how he did in that, but like everything I've seen him in looks comedic,
Hmm.
you know? And it's the I've been calling it for years, the Ryan Reynolds problem. You know,
Yeah.
they start he gets so popular, they start writing the role for Ryan Reynolds instead of
Hmm.
writing a character to stand out on his own.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. That's kind of the thing too, because I definitely feel like the script kind of doesn't have like there's not a whole lot of depth to the characters
Yeah,
going in, and
yeah.
then after the twist happens we sort of they get fleshed out a little bit more, but it does kind of fall into standard like, oh, okay, you're all kind of just like terrible
Mm,
millennials.
hmm.
um but I still had fun.
Hmm.
I think it's still a solid movie. It is definitely Sophie Thatcher's movie.
Yeah,
She just has such a control over like uh her voice and uh and just how she emotes in certain situations. And I'm like, oh man, like
yeah,
this is great. And it's especially cool seeing like because we just came off of watching Prospect,
right.
which was like her first feature,
Hmm.
coming in now watching, Companion. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. Like she's leading this movie.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's good. It's solid. Um,
That's interesting because we
yeah.
had a similar discussion with Abigail, you know,
Hmm.
like and how we were well, not I, but our friends and maybe even you to a certain extent were talking about how the movie really plays it straight, like you're not supposed to know
Hmm.
that spoiler alert for Abigail, I guess. That's why you should watch all our episodes, guys.
In
Uh
order.
yeah, exactly. But the twist, which is it really a twist if it's the concept of the film?
Yeah.
It's like the little girl's the vampire. She's a vampire.
Yeah.
So just through advertising and everything, like nobody went into that movie not knowing it, but now, so we had kind of had that discussion of like, does this movie work because it's a slow build,
Hmm.
you know, and things really start to kick off when she reveals herself as the vampire, and it's like, okay, why did it take so long to get here?
Hmm.
I enjoyed it. I loved it, but I know, you know, some of our friends really they didn't like that part of it. They're like, let's just get to it. Like we already know the twist,
Yeah,
you know. So
yeah,
it's like, oh, the advertising was selling one thing, but the movie was like playing it like you're not supposed to know.
yeah,
So, but then
yeah.
the YouTube channel I follow, Nikki and Steven, they had no idea. So they
Mm,
were surprised. So it was really cool to actually see it from an audience who doesn't know. And I'm like, oh, this does work. Now that I'm watching it and seeing other people's reactions, I'm like, they like Radio Silence, they really pulled this off. I'm like, I'm
mhm.
really glad. I love that movie since I watched it that first time, but then I loved it even more on the rewatches. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Because again, I definitely feel like watching the trailers for Companion, it didn't necessarily spoil anything.
Mm,
Like it doesn't spoil the twist, because like Abigail, like it's just like you said, like that's the concept. The concept is little
premise.
girl's the vampire,
Yeah. Vampire
whereas
Ballerina, the
yeah,
movie.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Whereas Companion, it's not selling you on this
Twist.
concept.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
concept.
like this was as the concept. It is like, no, this is sort of like a comedic murder thriller,
Yeah.
almost a locked house mystery. And you're like, oh,
Hmm.
okay, that's interesting. And then watching the movie, you see it and it's like, so yeah, I do genuinely think like if you don't know the twist, like yeah, like go watch it and I think you'll enjoy it. Because I do think it does it well, and what I like about it is that it's just very blunt. There's
Yeah.
no room for doubt. There's no like sowing the seeds of like, well, maybe that's not what's happening. Maybe it's all in her head. Like maybe it's like no, they just come out and say it. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that's a relief. It's like like
Yeah.
like there's still gaslighting in the movie, but at least this portion of it is
I,
not gaslighting,
yeah. I mean, yeah, I know the twist and I'm excited to see it anyway, you know.
Oh,
So
okay.
my
Yeah.
whole feed, I don't know why, but my whole Instagram algorithm is Sophie Thatcher right now.
Oh, wow.
Like I know I follow her on Instagram, but like I haven't really gone through and like liked a bunch of posts recently.
Hmm.
But we've been talking about her because we
Yeah.
watched
Prospect.
Prospect. I was gonna say Pilgrim. We watched Prospect, you know, and that's because our phones are spying on us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now she's just filling up my feed, and I'm like,
Hmm.
cool. And it's full of Yellow Jacket stuff. And I've
Oh,
never
wow.
seen Yellow Jackets, but I know she's in it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's
Yeah.
all right.
My feed is just all sinners.
Yeah. Oh, me too. Okay, so Sophie Thatcher and Sinners. So what do you think? What did you think?
Right now, it's movie of the year, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know what else is gonna beat it. It's certainly none of the Marvel projects are gonna beat it. I Superman, I don't think is gonna come close.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, no, it's yeah, 5-star movie. It's
Hmm.
incredible. Um, I'm actually actively upset that it is getting pushed out of IMAX this
Mm.
week. Like
Hmm.
Thursday is the last day you can go watch it in IMAX because those screens are going to be taken up by Thunderbolts, which I don't even think is filmed in IMAX.
Yeah. Damn
Yeah.
it. I wanted to go see it on Friday.
I know. I know.
I have
I
to
mean
watch
like
it on a normal movie theater.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I watched it in a normal theater.
Yeah.
Like just completely like forgetting that like, oh no, it's like shot and filmed in IMAX.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, it's so good. They got to give Michael B. Jordan 2 Oscars for this.
I
Uh,
saw a post saying, growing up, I actually thought Lindsay Lohan had a twin in The Parent Trap. So it makes me feel really good to know that some kid is probably going to think that Michael B. Jordan has a twin.
Yeah, yeah.
Michael A. Jordan, you know,
No, Michael C. Jordan.
Michael C. Jordan.
Dude, that's like that was me. Like all these interviews, with him and Ryan Coogler coming out. I'm like, that's
Mhm.
cool, but where's the other one? Like, oh,
I was gonna say they
damn
haven't.
it.
Like that would have been a fun interview, you know?
Right?
Have two of them working together. What the?
Oh, yeah, that'd be rad.
Oh man.
Yeah, dude, it's fantastic. It's phenomenal. I can't talk about it, not necessarily because of just like spoilers, but just because like you haven't watched it.
Yeah.
And, I don't know how many of our listeners also haven't watched it yet. My recommendation is to just go watch it.
Heads up,
It's
listeners. I'm probably gonna see it this weekend,
so
so
we'll probably talk about it next week again.
yeah, so you don't want to be
Um,
spoiled. Go
yeah,
watch it.
yeah. Um,
Also, just the fact that this is an original film, not
yes,
based on anything.
yes.
It's primarily black made and owned. And I'm like,
Hmm.
dude, awesome. And I think they're saying, I don't know Ryan Coogler's filmography, but they're saying like this is his first like original film.
No, 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 because he did. Oh, well, actually, I don't know if Fruitville Station is
It's a
based
true
off of
story.
anything. Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
so based off a true story, yeah,
This is
yeah,
his
because
first original.
he's been doing Creed and Black Panther.
It looks like he did some shorts.
Yeah,
His first like original his own
yeah,
thing as a feature.
yeah, yeah, which is phenomenal. I saw an article yesterday that was saying that it is the most successful original movie since 2019.
Yeah, I saw that. He's
Yeah,
produced a lot.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah, he's produced a lot. Um, yeah, it's great. It's awesome. Uh, it's so much more than I mean, you've seen the trailers, so you already know. Like like there's vampires in it,
Yeah,
but it's so much more than a vampire movie.
nice.
It has the most efficient use of vampires that I've ever seen in a
Hmm.
movie before. And, to the point where it's like, I'm watching this movie and I'm like, this is a great movie in its own right.
Hmm.
And then I'm like, oh crap, there's still the vampires that we got to deal with. And it's like, and then it just becomes, you know, yeah, they add on to an already incredible movie.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
Not
yeah,
Nosferatu. Yes, Feratu.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah, I want to see it. I'm a Michael B. Jordan fan. I'm also a Jack O'Connell fan. So when I found out he was the bad guy, I'm like,
Oh yeah,
dude,
yeah,
I'm all in. Let's do this.
yeah. Oh,
Um,
Delroy Lindo is in it.
oh
Which like
yeah.
I completely forgot about it until he showed up.
Hmm.
And cast Delroy Lindo in everything.
Hmm.
Challenge. Like let's just keep doing that.
He's been doing a
Like,
lot of interviews and like a lot of legacy stuff right now, like looking back on his career. Because like
mhm.
I don't know how much he's been working. I know wasn't he in what was the Vietnam one?
uh, uh, Defy Bloods with
Five Bloods?
Chadwick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was in that. But
Chadwick Boseman. Sorry, we're not
but
that friendly. We're not on those terms.
we would if we could.
We would be, yeah.
Um, but yeah, so like right now, Delroy Lindo's on this kind of like retrospective kind of thing.
Hmm.
Everyone's asking him about his career and looking back and all this stuff. I'm like, that's rad, man. Like he's
Hmm.
more than earned it at this point.
Yeah, yeah.
No one's asked him about the one.
Right, and we're like, man, like, what was that like?
We've talked about that movie a lot on this podcast, but no one talks to him about it.
Right?
I want that on the retrospective. Um, yeah, that's cool, man. I'm gonna check it out hopefully soon. I don't really like going to the theaters on the weekends because I'm just
Mm.
not having good theater experiences, man. And it's usually due to the audiences.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm freaking tired after work. So I'm like,
yeah.
I need to call in sick. I'm like, so I'm thinking maybe this Friday. I need to run some errands anyway, so maybe I'll just take off on Friday.
See, there you go.
Yeah, go get a haircut, do some bank stuff, go watch Sinners.
There you go.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Um, you know what else was a good time? Andor.
This week's episode of Andor.
Oh yeah, we forgot. That's what we're talking about today.
Oh that's what the podcast is all about. So this week we watched Andor season 1, episode 2, That Would Be Me, in which Cassian attempts to lay low on Ferrix as agents of the law close in.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel about this one, Matt?
I think it was a lot better than episode one. Not that episode
Hmm.
one was bad, but it was a huge improvement.
Hmm.
I did text you though. I'm like, why the hell are these episodes? Because all my complaints about this episode were the same from last week.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm, I don't know, man. They're pumping so much money into the show. Like, I, I don't know because what is it, 12 episodes season?
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know why they didn't just do like four movies. Well, again, we talked about it last week because it's more clicks if they're individual episodes. But
Yeah.
like again, when it ended, I thought it was cool, awesome music this episode as well, and the ending, I'm like, okay, cool, but still, I'm like, I'm kind of left, kind of just floundering here. Like I'm the like the film nerd in me
Mhm.
is really digging it. I'm like, I know what everyone's saying about this. I'm loving the cast, the characters. I know this is going somewhere, so I'm bought in. And it's
Yeah.
been a long
Yeah.
time since I've been bought in for Star Wars. I'm like, okay, so it's like the the higher plane of Matt, the film Matt, he's bought in.
Oh
But
no.
like just the casual watcher Matt, I'm like, with my attention span, like, dude. Like I understand why people gave up on the show so quickly because it's just like
Mhm.
there's not a lot happening. There things are moving, but it's not a lot happening. I'm going to say this. It's very no, I was going to say it's plot driven, not really. Like there are plot things happening,
Mhm.
but it's not really the plot that's driving the story.
Yeah.
And it's not really the characters either. I don't know if I'm invested because it's Cassie and Andor or because it's Diego Luna. I think it's because it's Diego Luna.
Okay, okay.
Like they're
I
not
can see
really
that.
giving me much here. The standout scene I think was his mom or
Hmm.
I don't okay, yeah. That whole scene because it was very emotional and we're slowly starting to get more backstory info. I'm like, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Um, so like it's there, it's just being it's being pulled out very slowly and like I don't from behind the scenes perspective like I don't know how anyone thought like this was gonna work, and I know this isn't the case but it feels like we have 12 episodes to fill. We're gonna have to stretch this out
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
It's
and
interesting because like this is the first time where I've like truly felt it.
yeah,
And I think that comes with like, hey, this is like the third time I'm watching the show.
yeah,
And I think now that I am doing it, this like week to week thing, it's so much different than watching any of the other shows we've watched.
yeah.
Because Lost feels every episode feels whole and completed to itself.
Hmm.
So did episodes of Arcane. And Arcane did the same thing that Andor does. They released in 3 episode batches.
Yeah,
And
so
every single one of those episodes is its own thing, telling its own story.
well, and here's the thing: it's not. You just said like Lost is the same. They're complete. It's like no, I think like all television. It doesn't matter if you're watching like a prestige television show, like I don't know Breaking
Well,
Bad, or
well,
you're
yeah,
watching
yeah.
the procedural cop drama. They all have beginning, middles, and ends.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
I haven't felt that with either of these episodes.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I mean. That like this is completely different where it's
mm,
like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like episode 1, it's hard to find the 3 acts in there.
yeah,
And kind of the same with this one. It's almost like thematic 3 acts
yeah,
instead of like plot or narrative. And truly it's like I do get why they did it where it's like, okay, yeah, like we're gonna do 12 episodes, so you get, more episodes. It's probably too, like, I'll say this, it is probably like a business standpoint where it's like we're gonna still have more people paying for the subscription, even if it's just for the month or something.
Hmm.
Uh, because they're gonna have our subscription for the whole time Andor is premiering. So that's like,
True.
you know, so on that end, sure. But I was thinking of it earlier. It's like, how come they don't do like the BBC thing? Like those like Sherlock. Those episodes were like an hour and a half. And we only
Mm-hmm.
got like three of them every season, you
Hmm.
know? It's like I feel like they could have embraced that too, to just say like, hey, instead of just like breaking this up, let's just go ahead and do an hour and a half episode, and then we would get all three of these episodes in one.
Yeah.
And then we're kind of, we're in the thing where it's like, oh yeah, we don't feel like we got our hopes up, and oh,
Yeah.
now we got to wait till next week.
It's for the clicks.
Yeah,
You know,
it's a business decision for sure.
and unfortunately, like I think that's kind of like the downside for this because like I'm enjoying it, but it just business in Hollywood has always affected movies,
Mhm.
and TV shows, but it's not really apparent. And I feel
Yeah,
like this is kind of apparent. But and I had the same complaints about The Acolyte. I feel like The Acolyte would have been a much better story if it was a 2 hour movie.
yeah,
Like I watched it all and I enjoyed it, which a lot of people didn't. But like I still don't know, as someone who liked The Acolyte, I don't know why that was a 6 episode series. You could have
mm,
done that in a 2 hour movie. And honestly, you could have cut a lot of the stuff people didn't like, you know, or at least, also the stuff that I didn't like. It felt like things were being tacked on,
yeah,
and like it seems like just very thin story being stretched too far that like things just stop making sense from a story perspective. I'm like,
yeah.
So this, I don't know. Like it's not bad enough where I'm disliking it or anything because I'm still enjoying it. And man, I was super pumped to sit down and start it, and I was super pumped when it ended, and I'm like, damn, I gotta wait a whole week, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm still along for the ride, but yeah, man, it's interesting way to tell a story
Hmm.
for sure. So we'll see where it goes, but things I did like, I like the music.
Hmm.
Uh, I like the tension. I did like, but um, Tim's role in this, unfortunately, Tim, like, come on, man. That sucks. But now you see that he feels guilty about it, but
Hmm.
I'm like, damn. But this brings a lot of tension, and it's like, well, yeah, that's what happens.
Yeah, yeah. What uh, a thing that I enjoy about this show is that it treats, you know, it treats this otherworldly, classical, universe, like sci-fi universe.
Yeah.
It treats it as a real living, breathing place
Yeah.
with people who are real and living, breathing people who have their own thoughts and opinions and emotions,
Mhm.
and who do stupid things,
Yeah.
who yeah, because yeah, that's Tim. Tim
Yeah.
sees this woman that he loves and thinks there's an affair going on, that that's all this can be, like doesn't
Mhm.
even consider that there's any sort of espionage or aren't
Mhm.
black market dealing or anything. It's like, no, he just sees, it's like, yeah, this is probably an affair,
Yeah.
and gets
Well,
drunk
and
and
that's the thing too. Like
misunderstands,
they're not
a
really a
whole bunch of
couple,
it.
you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and
that
and I
too.
and that's what I really like. It's like, okay, so it's not so much that like he thinks she's cheating or anything. It's more of like the insecurity of like, oh man, this girl I really like, and I might have a chance with her, but she's talking to this other guy,
Yeah,
Diego Luna of all people. I stand zero chance with him. So
yeah.
I just need to know. And it's like it's a very relatable human experience, especially for men. So that's why I enjoyed it because I'm like, I can appreciate his role in it. I don't like that he did that at all, but I can appreciate his role in the story. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
I hope this kind of sets him up for some kind of redemption, but I just like last week, I think everyone's gonna die except for Cassian and Bix,
Yeah,
right?
Bix.
With a B.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they're only two walking out of this town alive.
Mm,
Um, and maybe the little robot, because he's a little tank.
yeah.
But yeah, we met, quote unquote, my boy Stellan.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
I don't even think
yeah.
he says anything in this episode, but just his presence there, I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. He just has like a brief conversation with both his ship and
Mm.
the just some random dude on the transport that he's on
Yeah,
at the
I,
end.
I like that. I thought that that little day player actor did a great job with what he had, you know. I'm like,
Hmm.
that's rad. I liked it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I think the highlight for me uh was the new sergeant who shows up with his badass voice. And like he's a big guy, but I'm pretty sure he's also kind of in a fat suit. And I'm like,
Maybe.
and his slicked hair. That's right. He's so by the book and just ready to go. And I'm watching it and I'm thinking, like, holy shit, this is the guy from Chernobyl. Did you ever watch Chernobyl?
Yeah.
He's the digger, like the main guy who sends the miners down there, who starts
Shut up
mine.
with like the big mustache?
Yeah, he had black hair, but like they're mining naked. He's like, well, clothes aren't gonna help us anyway.
Oh
That's
man.
him. And I was like, dude,
I didn't
I
even wow.
I recognized the voice. I'm like, where have I seen this guy from? But yeah,
Yeah.
he has like a dark blonde or darkish blonde hair in this.
Yeah.
And dude, I I loved it. I love that. I love that horrible speech the nerd gave. He's just like,
Yes.
well said, well said, sir. And he just like
Yeah.
pats him on the shoulder.
Inspiring.
Inspiring. I was like, oh, dude, you
Oh
know,
man.
it was even though these are the bad guys, and I'm pretty sure they're really going to they're in a position to do a lot of harm.
Oh yeah.
I like that we had that the little moments of brevity there. You know,
Hmm.
it's like one, it does feel realistic. Okay, this guy's never been in this position before. Now he's super nervous that he has to step up.
Yeah.
But then also just the way the Sarge was just like, okay, I gotta save this. You know, he's like,
It
excellent job.
it almost feels like everybody in the show feels like they could be an archetypal character,
Yeah.
you know, like in some, you know, classical story or even in Star Wars, you know, where like I feel like in the original trilogy and in the prequels too, like a lot of people fit into like a classical archetype role.
Right.
And I think that by extension, you know, it still being in the Star Wars universe, I think that like everybody in Andor also feels like that. They just also happen to be real people.
Yeah.
And, you know, yeah, I love that. I love that, like, you know, you've just got this big burly sergeant dude who's just like, yeah, ready to go. You know, doing all stuff. I told Kat, it was like, he reminds me of Strax from Doctor Who.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he's just like short, stocky, and just ready for a fight. And I was like,
Hmm.
okay, all right. Um, but yeah, like I also love that like it's the show's doing like this duality thing with the nerd, by the way, his name's Cyril.
Cyril.
uh and I love how like he's so gung-ho in that office. You know, he's like, do you think I should suit up? And the sergeant's like, oh, absolutely. You know, it's like really, you know, like show the men, you know, like, you know,
Hmm.
gives all this stuff. And he's like, okay, good. Like, then let's do it. And he's so gung-ho for it. And then as soon as we see him on the ship and as soon as he knows he has to give a speech, he's just like, uh, uh you just so soft spoken. He's like, thank you all for being here, and
Hmm.
yeah, we're gonna really go get him. I'm like, yeah, like it is like it's exactly like what you said. It's like he's thrust into a role he's never had, but it's
Hmm.
also just about these people who are playing with power that they maybe shouldn't have. He's
Hmm.
only doing this because his superior officer is out on leave.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if that wasn't the case, none of this would be happening. The
Hmm.
murders would have been buried, you
Hmm.
know, all of that stuff. And it's just
Well,
like,
and that's kind of
yeah,
interesting too, because I was thinking about that. Like, if the superior was still there, I could easily see this guy like still investigating in his free time. Like this guy's gung ho about it, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm a sucker for like a good origin story, and I'm hoping this guy becomes like a big bad because like it'd be really cool to see him start from this point, you know, to
Hmm.
see him become like a real baddie. As
Hmm.
much as I don't want to see that, like it would just be awesome storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially because we know how crucial Cassian is to the resistance.
Hmm.
So it's like you see the story of these two men at the beginning,
Yeah.
and how they're both on the same story, but just for like opposing sides.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh man, like
He's yeah.
so I hope. I mean, I don't know. They could kill him next episode. I don't know. That's how I also feel about the sergeant. I'm like, dude, he's probably not going to last long. But like, I want this guy to get betrayed by the Empire, so he's forced to work with the rebels and turncoat. And just like, hell yeah, like I want this guy on our team. I'm always down for well, you say Strax, or like even Drax. Um,
Oh yeah.
but like I love the stories where like the villain joins the good guys,
Hmm.
and I'm like, oh dude, that would be rad. Like I don't know how many examples there are of that, but like you could think of
Hmm.
Spike from Angel.
Yeah.
Um, he's still a bad guy, but he's his goals are aligned with the good guy, so it's such a cool dynamic.
Yeah.
I love that. And I finished season 2 of The Expanse last night, and
Hmm.
Amos, who for all we've seen, he is a good guy,
Hmm.
but he does have the line because he thinks Holden's gonna die. He's like, I just want to let you know you're a good man, and even though you've made some mistakes, you've always tried to do the right thing, and it's just really nice not having to worry about if I'm on the wrong team or not.
Hmm.
And I'm like, man, for Amos, who's like this killing machine, who has trouble making his own decisions, that is such like a heartbreaking but heartfelt admission. You
Hmm.
know, it's nice to know I'm one of the good guys.
Yeah.
That's what he was saying. I was like, dude, yeah, that's I love that. That's not going to happen to Sargent, but I love to see those stories, where like the bad guy is kind of forced to change or into this other role,
Yeah.
you know,
Hey,
or
who knows?
yeah,
It
who
could
knows?
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know, man, like this kind of aligns to what we're talking about with the whole pacing of the show. Like even after it ended, I'm like, I don't know what we're going to talk about
Yeah.
because we talked about it a lot of this last week.
Hmm.
Oh, I will say this. I did have this thought. I don't know where the show's going and what they're going to do, but I'm like, because I was thinking, like, why again? Why did they split these episodes up? This could have easily been just a one, like episodes 1 and 2 could have just been one episode,
Yeah.
maybe a little long. I'm like, oh, you cut the kid stuff out.
Mm.
Just do all the flashbacks in its own episode, and boom, problem solved. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because I feel like it's interesting, but like they didn't even mention the sister in this episode at all. So
Right.
like,
Right.
I understand that I'm assuming we're following Kid Cassian, but and we did meet the mom, so we're kind of starting to get that connections. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, again, it's not furthering the plot, and it's not really adding much for the character. It's just we're seeing stuff that happened. I'm like, oh, okay.
Hmm.
So like my first thought was like this could have been one longer episode if you had cut the kid stuff out and just save all
Yeah.
the kid stuff for one episode. But then again, I don't know how much kid stuff actually happens. I don't know if
Yeah.
there's enough to do a full episode or not. But
I think to your point, I would say if you took out all the kid stuff from the first and second episodes and you put it in the third one,
yeah.
I think that might have worked better.
Mm.
Um
I'm assuming Tim is not the white kid on the beach that I
no.
thought. Yeah,
No,
because
Tim. Yeah,
he
Tim is
didn't know
not
what's the planet called?
Canary.
Canary.
So yeah, let's talk about Canary. Let's talk about this for a second. So in that scene where Cassian's talking to his mom, Marva,
Hmm.
um this is after the Imperials have already kind of figured out like, oh hey, like we're looking for somebody who was looking for somebody from Canary, so it's probably,
Hmm.
probably related. Um and they start freaking out. They both start freaking out because so they start saying it's like every single document we've always said you're born on Fest, you're born on this other
Hmm.
planet. So who else knows?
Yeah.
And I love this scene because it is so it's the thing that I think you and I have always griped about with with Lost and a little bit with Arcane, where it's like you people just need to talk.
Hmm.
If you guys just talked about this, what I love about the scene is like I feel like they are both talking to each other almost about the same thing, but they're talking over each other.
Hmm.
Cassian is trying to say that he messed up, but he can't get that out. Marva is trying to say like I'm worried about you, but she can't get that out.
Hmm.
And so they're going back and forth, they're arguing, and then the scene ends where Cassian says like I messed up. It's like,
Yeah.
and it's the first time across both episodes that he has admitted that he's messed up.
Yeah.
Even when he told Bix that something happened, it was just kind of like things happen. Like it happened. I don't know. Like, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
And this is the moment where he's in front of his mom and he's just real. He's like, I messed up. I messed up bad.
Hmm.
And I love it. Small minor detail, which is purely behind the scenes in the official I think it's like the visual dictionary for Rogue One. Cassian, his home planet is registered as Fest.
Hmm.
And so I believe what happened here was that they gave him that backstory, or they gave him that planet, said he's on Fest. And then they decided to retcon that and say that, hey, no, he was born on this other planet, but in order to keep up appearances because of what happens to Canary, they can't officially say that like there were any survivors from this
Yeah.
planet. So all
Hmm.
of his legal documents now say he's on Fest.
Interesting.
Yeah. Or he was
Now
born
I
on Fest.
now I don't know. Like there's also part of me that's wondering if she is his real mom or what, because
Hmm.
there's no adults in those flashbacks.
Yeah.
So, and I'm wondering if that has something to do with the mining, the abandoned mine, and some kind of accident that happened. So
Hmm.
we'll
So
see.
yeah, yeah, it's this thing of like the Empire is essentially like gouge mining,
Yeah.
destroyed this planet for all of its resources.
Hmm.
And yeah, like I I don't know if they ever say like why it's just the kids, but like we're primarily just following kids for the whole, for this whole bit of
Well, yeah,
it.
so far they haven't. And it's like
Yeah.
they mentioned that there was some kind of accident on Canary. And I'm like, okay.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's Empire, they're getting the adults to mine those shafts
Something.
for them for
Yeah.
resources. So they should have got the sergeant. He'd be down there naked mining. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, the music was really starting to stand out. Like it's just Star Wars enough, but cooler. Like
Hmm.
the song they play at the end and then the end credits, I'm like, dude, this is rad. Which Disney Plus, man, it's so damn hard to watch the end credits
Mm.
because like it tries to jump to the next episode and you're like, no, I'm gonna watch it. So then like it makes the screen smaller, and then if you leave it there for long enough, it'll try and jump to the next episode again. It's like, no.
Mm.
I'm like,
Yeah, yeah.
damn it. Ah, I want to listen to music.
Yeah.
So it's all about the clicks, man.
Yep. That's all it is.
Clicks and streams.
Hmm. The composer, by the way, is Nicholas Britell.
Patel. Okay.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. He does. Oh, he did the music for Succession and
Hmm.
Moonlight. If Beale Street Could Talk. Uh,
Oh, interesting. Okay.
yeah.
If Bill Street Can Talk, I've never seen it, but it's one of my favorite soundtracks.
Mm.
And like, it's really good.
Hmm.
Okay. All right. All right. Sounds good. I like that. But other than that, man, yeah, I don't know what else to
Yeah.
say. I'm looking forward to the next episode. I know bad stuff is gonna happen,
Hmm.
but
It's yeah, so kind of like how I prefaced it, like about every 3 episodes, kind of like comes to a head. It's like a slow burn, where they're building tension, and then like the third episode is where they're like, whoa, like stuff goes down, and then it just kind of keeps going, kind of like that, so I'm excited. I knew this was gonna be a weirder episode
mhm,
because I think that's just one of the things about Andor. It's like it's a hard sell. It's hard to get into, but when you watch it all, I feel like you're in it and you're like, yeah, okay, yeah, like I'm
mhm,
bought in. Um, and it is definitely one of those shows where you're just like, when you think back on it, you're like, oh my God, that's so brilliant. They set that up there. And I
mhm,
didn't even see that.
right.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Well, I mean, I've been talking about the Expanse. I'm a huge fan of the Expanse, and that's the way the Expanse is. So,
mhm,
yeah, we'll see.
we'll
We'll have
see.
to check out next week's episode.
That's right. Because next week we're talking about Andor season 1, episode 3, Reckoning, in which Cassian tries to evade arrest with unknown consequences.
Yep, that's how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Well,
yeah,
best of luck to him.
best of luck. Did we do MVPs? Are we gonna do that this time
I
around? I
guess
don't think we.
so. We did last week.
Okay.
This week I'll give it to the sergeant guy, whoever that actor was. Just because
Yeah.
like he stole the show, man. I'm like, yes, I love this guy.
So we'll give it to Alex Ferns,
Alex Ferns.
who
Okay.
plays Sergeant Linus Mosk.
Mosk. Okay.
Was he in the Batman?
Was
Oh,
he?
he was in the Batman. He's the commissioner. The guy who goes up to Gordon in like that first like murder room, and he looks at Batman and he's just like, it's like, because the for the it opens on Halloween night, and he's just like, this must be a busy night for you, huh? It must be a favorite night of the year. Happy fucking Halloween.
Oh wow, that was him?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and then later, Riddler gets him. So,
Wow, okay.
man, this guy is good. Well, all right. Well, listeners, join us next time where we're going into Andor episode 3, Reckoning. As always, hit us up. Let us know what your favorite part of the episode was. Uh, uh, what do you think about Sergeant Mosk? Do you like him? Do you hate him? You indifferent? Let us know. Comment. We're pretty much everywhere. But just comment using the hashtag Lost Legacies, and that's how we'll find you. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at Reel, that's REEL, Texas Weirdo.
And I'm on Instagram and Threads at Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch and on BluSky at Matthew Jimenez.
All right. So until next time, and until we find a better sign off, get lost.